Video game industry? No. Nuh-uh. Nope. Video games, you just pissed me off.
True.
This year's E3 was a goddamn joke, and everyone involved, fuck you. This was the most sellout, embarrassing
Look at that
bullshit
sellout.
I have ever witnessed.
Let's check out.
Let's not. The Rock is worth $320 million. Why is he on here advertising
True.
an energy drink before they run a commercial for his movie during a video game expo?
Why
Check
is he
this
on
out.
there?
An iPhone.
Whoa!
Why are Twitch streamers on here pretending like they care about video games?
There were like games and GameCube
Wait, they
that were
care?
like this.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of, what does it remind me of? It reminds me of those, like, old school GameCube games.
You don't play no games. Go talk about Johnny Depp's trial or some shit. The only Twitch streamer that plays games is Pete Dorr. He wasn't even on there.
I've been playing platformers pretty much every day for the past few years. I love Jump King. I love, other platformers.
You're
Jump King's really
joking,
good.
man.
And, I always...
For Last of Us multiplayer, they showed one concept image. This was one of the highlights of the show. They're remaking Resident Evil 4. Doesn't really need a remake. They're remaking Last of Us 1. Definitely doesn't need a remake.
Very
I'm
true.
Yasuhiro Anpo, director of Resident Evil 4.
And I'm Yoshiaki Hirabayashi, producer of Resident Evil 4. This title is a reimagining of Resident Evil 4, based on the original 2005 release of Resident Evil 4. Let's take a closer look at Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
The over-the-shoulder camera returns, of course. Look forward to future announcements.
That's it? The other big remake is Knights of the Old Republic. Now, this game is old. Older than you remember. People who played this back on
That
the original
game is the
Xbox still
OG.
consider it to be one of the best Star Wars games, and it's mostly because
True.
it has HK-47, who is a funnier character than they've ever had
Best
before in
character
Star
ever.
Wars. There's also Star Wars Eclipse from the guys who made Heavy Rain.
Your vast experience hasn't prevented 8 victims from being murdered. Fucking asshole!
There's
This
no way this
studio
is a game.
great at making unintentional comedies, and I do not understand how they got the Star Wars license. It's kind of like if they let Tetsuya Nomura make a Disney game.
Oh god, Kingdom Hearts, the story, flashbacks.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
This is dope. No, this is dope. I'm gonna
no.
play this.
I'm actually gonna play this. In the 90s, Square was
You
famous
actually
for its
said it!
dedication to storytelling in video games. Today, Square Enix is famous for
That's
its
wild.
dedication to the worst storytelling.
That's wild
in
that
video
happened.
games. Chaos Man was so dumb it was funny. Octopath was soulless. Final Fantasy 15, you had to watch a movie to get the story. Dragon Quest. Well, I like Dragon Quest. Final Fantasy VII Remake took a story that actually worked and butchered it. Square Enix is so creative, they named their studio Creative Business Unit 3.
No
And yet,
way.
even by the abysmally low standards of Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 3 stands alone as one of the most incompetently written video games ever created. And this is why I have to play Kingdom Hearts 4.
True.
For the funniness of it all.
True, it's like a meme at this point. How many
Which
games?
one is the one with Sephiroth?
Hi everyone. In 2019,
all
Modern
people care
Warfare
about.
changed everything.
Name one thing Modern Warfare changed.
You know, and Gaz.
This editing is
first.
great.
We're on Steam, as you know. I mean,
Call of Duty games are still good for 2 weeks of trashy multiplayer fun, but the
Yeah.
campaigns are so fucking pathetic, so outdated. I don't know why they showed this. It looks like shit.
I am so excited to play this.
Capcom changed the logo for Street Fighter 6 because everyone made fun of the old one. This game has the great misfortune of following up Street Fighter 5, which launched without an arcade mode. The netcode is still shitty. The AI is too easy on normal mode. The bosses are too hard on hard mode. There's a lot of visual bugs, long load times. They put ads before the matches, and they played it very safe with the gameplay. Street Fighter 6 looks like a pretty dramatic shift for the franchise, but as much as I love Street Fighter, that last game was such a slap in the face to the fans that it's hard to get excited. Capcom really has to redeem themselves on this one.
What is a Stormgate, though?
How the fuck would I know?
So we actually copied Ori and the Blind Forest because that game sold really well.
That's good because you just do something that somebody else does.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with their creativity and taking a jump off the, creative ledge.
Jump into the next game. It's from Neo Interactive, and it's called Samurai Zero.
You mean Katana Zero.
Select your samurai.
Oh, it actually is called that. What the fuck? They showed a billion indie games. There was a show called The Wholesome Direct, and the highlight of that show is when Leah called it the Loathsome Direct. Last year there was 9 soup-type games. This year there are 200 frog-type games. Frog Sword, Frog Song, Ball Frog, Time on Frog Island, Here Comes Froggy, Frog RPG, Star Frog, Fancy Frog, Skate Frog, Frog
In Frogun, your grappling gun is a frog.
Devolver's presentation again tried its hardest to take attention away from their games and place it on themselves. Double Fine's event actually highlighted some of the more promising indie titles. The 2 that caught my eye were Shim, where you jump from shadow to shadow, and Animal Whale. Every game at E3 is trying to be cute and loud. These games look like they actually might be fun. Everyone thought Rockstar would show their next game. They didn't, but Rocksteady did. It's been 7 years since Arkham Knight, and these guys are finally back with Left 4 Dead Shark, where you have to kill Superman. The thing with co-op is that the game is no longer a $60 buy-in. It's a $240 buy-in.
Sounds about
Last year,
right.
It Takes Two had this great setup where only one person had to actually own the game, and the game was incredible. If Xbox is smart, they'll put this thing on Game Pass. That is a perfect match.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Wake 2. No way this is real. There are only 2 human beings that have ever played the game Alan Wake. Me and my friend Woa. If anybody else says they played Alan Wake, they are lying to you. Making Alan Wake 2 is like if for some reason they decided to make a Knack 2. The big Sony news is that they are slowly bringing all of their major titles to the PC. Uncharted, God of War, Death Stranding, Horizon, and now Spider-Man and The Last of Us. I'm very happy for PC-only gamers that can finally get at some of these incredible games.
That's
and
true.
Also Days Gone. The Persona series is coming to Xbox, but not Nintendo. But don't worry, Nintendo fans, you guys get Xenoblade 3. You poor bastards.
Monkey to Luffy.
He's called Banjo-Kazooie, you idiot. God of War looks amazing. It's still slated to come out this year. Probably won't, but when it does, there ain't no way it's gonna be able to match up against this next game. Sonic Frontier.
That's a big game.
The second I heard open world Sonic, I envisioned one of the greatest comedy masterpieces of all time. Looking at the gameplay, I am very disappointed that Sonic is not constantly clipping through the terrain.
True.
I did not think they would be able to get that part right. A couple months ago, Yuji Naka, the director of Balan Wonderworld, spoke out saying he was removed as the game's director halfway through development, and then Square Enix shoved the game out the door unfinished. So far, I'm not seeing any farmers or dancing sequences in Sonic, which is a shame.
Balan Wonderland was
Developers
so
have clarified
terrible.
that this is not actually an open world game. No. Sonic Frontiers is an open zone game. It's very Strand-like in that sense.
Now, I'm excited to announce a special partnership between Xbox Game Studios and one of the greatest creative minds and innovators in our industry.
これから、Xbox ゲーム
Thank you, Kojima-san. We're thrilled to have Kojima Productions.
Meanwhile, at Jeff Keighley's house, they held the Dead Space event, where every game shown was the game Dead Space. Here's a new Dead Space. That's the Callisto Protocol, my bad. Now, this is the actual Dead Space, right? Yeah, see? But then this came on, and I was like, is this really another Dead Space?
That's something brand new.
We want this to feel like Dead Space.
And my favorite, the most anticipated open world RPG of the last 20 years.
Zelda. Oh. Starfield was the big reveal of this year's E3. Turns out it's actually No Man's Sky, but with shooting. But the shooting is really sluggish and wonky looking. But there's 1,000 planets. The concept behind this game is exciting. It's something that really taps into your
1,000 planets?
imagination.
I read that,
flying out
actually.
into space and exploring the universe, learning about different societies and ecosystems. However, Bethesda was already struggling to keep up with modern standards 7 years ago when Fallout 4 came out, and now with games like Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Red Dead 2, Sonic Frontiers, these huge games pushing the limits of scope and polish, I don't see how Bethesda could possibly meet this new, much higher standard with Microsoft spending the entire budget on Blizzard. I would love to be wrong, but the last super ambitious open world Western RPG
Diablo
was
Immortal,
Cyberpunk
baby.
2077.
Pay to win.
Back to you, Jeff Keighley.
Next, it's time for a new look at Honkai Star Rail, an upcoming open-world space RPG Yeah, a lot of space today from.
Jeez. All right, make sure to subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.